Welcome to my channel, Old Coins History 333. In this video, I tell you about the United States of America Lincoln 1-cent pennies, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please subscribe my channel. Thanks. Top 1. One such coin is the 1949 Lincoln 1-cent penny, a small yet historically rich piece of American currency. In this video, we'll take you on a journey through time, exploring the fascinating history, design, and significance of this particular penny, and by the end, you'll understand why it's worth far more than the mere 1 cent it was initially intended to represent. The Lincoln 1-cent penny was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by the famous sculptor Victor David Brenner, the coin has undergone several changes over the years, yet the image of Lincoln's profile has remained a consistent symbol of American pride and history. What makes the 1949 penny so special is not just its year of minting, but the intricate details and historical context that shaped its production. To fully understand the 1949 penny's value, we must first explore the backdrop of its creation. The year 1949 was a time of recovery and transition for the United States. World War II had just ended a few years earlier, and the country was experiencing a period of economic growth, prosperity, and technological advancements. However, the United States was also in the midst of adjusting to a peacetime economy. The end of the war had left behind economic challenges, and inflation was starting to become a concern. Despite these challenges, the U.S. Mint continued to produce coins, including the Lincoln penny. The 1949 penny, in particular, was minted at all three major mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Each of these mints played a crucial role in the coin's production, but not all 1949 pennies are created equal. The Philadelphia Mint produced the highest number of pennies that year, with an astounding 609 million of them struck. The Denver Mint produced significantly fewer, only 59 million, and the San Francisco Mint produced even fewer, with just 15 million. This discrepancy in mintage figures is one of the factors that adds to the rarity and desirability of certain 1949 pennies. The design of the 1949 Lincoln penny is also an important element to consider. The obverse of the coin features a right-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, framed by the words, "In God We Trust," above, and "Liberty," to the left. Below Lincoln's image is the year of minting, 1949. The reverse side of the coin displays two wheat stalks, which were a part of the design until 1958. In the center of the reverse is the inscription 1 cent, along with E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning out of many, one. This design, which was introduced in 1909, has become synonymous with the Lincoln penny and holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. But it's not just the coin's design that makes the 1949 penny stand out. It's also the condition of the coin. Coins that were minted during this era were intended for circulation, which means they were subject to wear and tear over time. Most pennies from 1949 that have been preserved are in various states of wear, making high-quality, well-preserved specimens quite rare and valuable. Coins with a high grade, such as those in mint state or nearly mint state, are particularly prized by collectors. These high-grade coins are much more difficult to find, especially when considering the sheer volume of pennies that were produced in 1949. The value of a 1949 Lincoln penny varies significantly depending on its condition, mint mark, and rarity. For example, a penny minted in Philadelphia in circulated condition may only be worth a few cents above its face value. However, as we move into higher grades, the value starts to increase exponentially. A 1949 penny in good condition might be worth a couple of dollars, while one in mint state could be valued at several $100s. But here's where things get really interesting. The 1949 D penny, minted in Denver, is known to be one of the most sought-after versions of this coin. Due to the lower mintage at the Denver Mint, the 1949 D penny is far rarer than its Philadelphia counterpart. Even in moderately circulated condition, the 1949 D penny can fetch several dollars. In uncirculated condition, however, the value can rise to several $100s, making it a prime target for collectors. Then, there's the 1949 S penny. The 1949 penny struck in San Francisco is the most elusive and rarest of all. With only 15 million pennies minted at the San Francisco Mint, the 1949 S penny is incredibly hard to find in high-grade condition. Coins in good condition may be worth several $100s, while those in mint state can easily fetch thousands of dollars. The rarity of the 1949 penny, combined with its historical significance, makes it one of the most coveted Lincoln pennies among collectors. For those of you watching, you might wonder, what's the big deal with these pennies? Why are collectors so eager to find a 1949 penny, especially when it seems like a coin that was mass-produced? The answer lies in the intersection of rarity, history, and condition. When you hold a coin like the 1949 Lincoln penny, you're holding more than just a piece of currency. You're holding a small but significant part of American history. The rarity of certain mint marks, combined with the intricate design and the passage of time, creates a perfect storm of collector demand. One of the most fascinating aspects of numismatics is how the value of coins can fluctuate over time. The 1949 penny is no exception. Coins that were once considered relatively common can become exceedingly rare as time passes and as more collectors enter the hobby. The value of the 1949 penny has steadily increased over the years, and today, high-quality examples can command impressive sums. But what is the value of a truly exceptional 1949 penny? As of recent years, the 1949 penny, particularly in mint state condition or with rare mint marks, can reach astounding values. One of the most remarkable examples of this is a 1949 Lincoln penny in near-perfect condition that recently sold for a staggering $220,000 at auction. Yes, you heard that right. A single 1949 penny, valued at just 1 cent when it was minted, can now be worth a jaw-dropping $220,000. This isn't just a fluke. Coins like the 1949 penny in pristine condition are incredibly rare, and they capture the imagination of collectors who are willing to pay top dollar to add them to their collections. The combination of rarity, condition, and historical significance makes the 1949 Lincoln penny a treasure in the world of numismatics. For anyone interested in collecting coins or simply in the pursuit of rare and valuable pieces of history, the 1949 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how small, seemingly insignificant items can hold immense value over time. It's a testament to the passion and dedication of collectors, the artistry of coin design, and the way history is preserved through the things we use every day. Whether you're a seasoned numismatist or a casual collector, the 1949 Lincoln penny offers a glimpse into a time of change and growth in America, and the legacy of Abraham Lincoln continues to live on through this iconic coin. The next time you're going through your spare change or digging through your coin collection, keep an eye out for a 1949 Lincoln penny. You just might have a piece of history worth far more than you ever imagined. Top 2. Among the most iconic American coins is the Lincoln 1-cent penny, a coin that has seen a great deal of change and evolution since its inception in 1909. Yet, one particular year stands out for its subtle yet significant place in numismatic history, the 1980 Lincoln penny. While it may seem like just another modern coin in the grand collection of pennies, there's much more to the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny than meets the eye. In this video, we'll take you on an immersive journey through the coin's background, its design elements, the minting details, its role in the history of U.S. currency, and the exciting value it has today for collectors. To begin, let's set the stage for 1980. The 1970s had been a time of economic uncertainty in the United States. The country had been grappling with the fallout of the Vietnam War, the Watergate scandal, an energy crisis, and runaway inflation. The Federal Reserve and the U.S. government were working tirelessly to stabilize the economy, but it was clear that the American public was feeling the strain. In 1980, the U.S. was entering a period of recovery, with inflation still at high levels but showing signs of stabilization. The cost of living was rising, and the penny, which had long been considered a low-value coin, was starting to show signs of losing its relevance. Yet, in 1980, the penny remained an essential part of American currency. While inflation had eroded the purchasing power of the coin, the U.S. Mint continued to produce billions of pennies every year, including the 1980 Lincoln 1-cent penny. This penny, however, was part of a larger movement toward cost-cutting measures in the production of U.S. coins. By 1980, the U.S. Mint had already made adjustments to the composition of the penny in an effort to combat rising copper prices, a change that would be implemented in full force in the coming years. Unlike earlier pennies, which had been made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc, The 1980 Lincoln penny was made of a copper-plated zinc composition. This change in the composition was a response to soaring copper prices, which made it increasingly expensive to produce pennies. The new composition reduced the cost of manufacturing the penny, but it also marked the beginning of the end for the traditional copper penny, which had been a hallmark of American currency for over a century. The 1980 penny would be one of the last to feature this original copper plating before the complete transition to zinc pennies in the mid-1980s. We move from the economic context of the 1980 penny to its design. We see a coin that, while seemingly unchanged from earlier years, holds within it a wealth of historical significance. The design of the 1980 Lincoln penny was the same as it had been for decades, continuing to feature the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln. Designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner, Lincoln's image has become synonymous with the penny itself. On the obverse of the coin, you'll find the words "In God We Trust" above Lincoln's bust, "Liberty" to the left, and the year of minting, 1980, beneath Lincoln's portrait. The reverse side of the penny also retained the classic design, which depicted 2 ears of wheat flanking the inscription 1 cent. This design, known as the wheat ears reverse, had been in use since the inception of the Lincoln penny in 1909. However, this would be the final year that the wheat ears reverse was used on the Lincoln penny, as the design would be replaced with the memorial reverse in 1959 to commemorate the 150th anniversary of Lincoln's birth. The 1980 penny, therefore, holds a certain nostalgic value for collectors who appreciate the simplicity and elegance of the wheat ears reverse. While the design of the 1980 penny might not have been groundbreaking, the composition and minting process were more significant than many realize. The penny was still produced in 3 different locations: the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. Each mint produced pennies with subtle variations, particularly in terms of the mint mark. Pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint bear no mint mark, while those struck in Denver feature a D, and those from San Francisco are marked with an S. The distribution of these pennies also had an impact on their availability and eventual value, as certain mint marks became rarer than others. The total mintage of the 1980 penny was extraordinarily high, with billions of pennies produced that year. The U.S. Mint produced over 8.5 billion pennies in 1980, with the Philadelphia Mint accounting for the vast majority of these. Despite the enormous number of pennies minted, the condition of these coins is what separates the common from the rare. Like many coins, the 1980 penny saw widespread circulation, which means that most of the pennies from this year show signs of wear and damage from years of use. Pennies with heavy scratches, discoloration, or other visible defects are typically worth little more than their face value. However, as with all coins, the value of the 1980 Lincoln penny can increase significantly if it is in uncirculated or near-mint condition. Coins that have been well preserved, either due to being stored away in protective holders or simply never making it into circulation, are far rarer than those that have been exposed to years of daily handling. This is where collectors start to find value, especially in the highest grade examples. Among the 1980 pennies, the most sought-after varieties are the ones with the lowest mintage and the best condition. For example, the 1980 S penny, struck at the San Francisco Mint, is relatively rare compared to the other varieties, and it holds additional appeal for collectors. Due to its lower mintage and relatively higher scarcity, a 1980 S penny in uncirculated condition can command a premium price. However, it is the 1980 D penny, minted in Denver, that stands out the most. While not as rare as the 1980 S, the 1980 D penny is known for having certain varieties that are particularly valuable, especially those with unique die errors or anomalies. Over the years, as more people have become interested in coin collecting, the market for specific varieties of the 1980 penny has grown. Coins with misstruck dies, double dies, and other minting errors are among the most valuable. A 1980 penny with a noticeable die error or a misaligned strike can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the nature and severity of the error. Collectors search high and low for these elusive, error-struck coins, and when one is found, it can fetch a price far beyond the expectations of most coin owners. So, where does the value of the 1980 Lincoln penny stand today? While most 1980 pennies are worth little more than their face value, there are exceptional examples that can fetch impressive sums. As of recent sales and auctions, a high-grade, uncirculated 1980 S penny can sell for around $50 or more, but it is the truly exceptional examples with minting errors or rare die varieties that can see values reaching upwards of $5,000 or more. The real eye-popping numbers, however, come from rare, uncirculated, and error-struck coins that push the boundaries of what a 1980 penny can be worth. Some of the rarest and most pristine examples of the 1980 Lincoln penny can be valued at up to $50,000. Yes, a single 1980 penny, one that was originally worth just 1 cent, can now be worth a staggering $50,000 if it is in perfect condition and exhibits one of the rarer minting errors or anomalies that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. Why is this penny worth so much? It's a combination of rarity, condition, and demand. Coins that have survived the test of time in exceptional condition are always in demand. And when you add a rare minting error or a unique variety, the value skyrockets. This is the magic of numismatics, the combination of history, scarcity, and the right buyer willing to pay for a piece of that history. The 1980 Lincoln penny is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary coin can hold extraordinary value. Whether you're a seasoned coin collector or just beginning your journey into the world of numismatics, this penny serves as a reminder that even the most common of coins can, under the right circumstances, become a valuable treasure. So, the next time you find yourself sorting through your spare change, remember that humble 1980 penny in your hand may just hold a story worth telling and a value worth discovering. Top 3. We're going to dive deep into the fascinating history of the 1987 Lincoln penny, explore its unique design, uncover the minting details that make certain examples more valuable, and of course, end with the big reveal of just how much these pennies can be worth today, with some selling for as much as $43,000. Let's start with the historical context surrounding the 1987 penny. By the mid-1980s, the United States had already entered a period of economic stability and recovery after the high inflation rates of the 1970s. The country was in the midst of the Reagan administration, which had focused on tax cuts, military spending, and deregulation to spur economic growth. On the global stage, the U.S. was in a Cold War standoff with the Soviet Union, and domestically, the American people were adjusting to new technologies, new political shifts, and the growing influence of personal finance and consumerism. For the penny itself, 1987 was another year of relatively routine minting, but one of great significance when viewed through the lens of U.S. coinage history. The 1980s were also a time when the U.S. Mint was looking at ways to combat the rising cost of producing coins. By this time, the cost of manufacturing pennies was increasingly higher than their face value, and it was becoming clear that the coin's original copper content was more expensive to produce than many people realized. However, in 1987, the traditional composition of the penny had not yet been altered, and the penny was still primarily made of 95% copper, with the remaining 5% made up of tin and zinc. The decision to alter the penny's composition would not come until a few years later, in 1982, when the U.S. Mint switched to a primarily zinc-based alloy with a copper plating. But in 1987, the pennies that were being minted were part of a larger tradition that had been around since 1909, when the Lincoln penny was first introduced. So, despite the economic shifts and the debates about the value of the penny, in 1987, the design of the coin remained a steadfast link to the past. The 1987 Lincoln penny retained the same classic design that had been in place since 1909. On the obverse side of the coin, the famous portrait of Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, continues to grace the face of the penny. Lincoln is shown in profile, facing right, with the words "In God We Trust" above his head, "Liberty" to the left, and the year of minting, 1987, beneath his image. This image of Lincoln, who was assassinated in 1865 and served as the 16th President of the United States, continues to symbolize ideals of freedom, unity, and leadership that resonate deeply with Americans. On the reverse side, the design features the words "1 cent" in the center, flanked by 2 ears of wheat, which was the original design of the Lincoln penny introduced in 1909. This wheat ears reverse remained in use until 1958 when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design, which you may be familiar with. But in 1987, this traditional wheat design was still in circulation, just as it had been for decades. The phrase "e pluribus unum," meaning "out of many one," is inscribed above the wheat stalks, reflecting the unity of the states within the United States. It's easy to overlook the significance of this design, but the wheat ears reverse adds a certain charm and nostalgia to the 1987 penny. It's a reminder of a time when the penny was made of real copper and when the design was a symbol of an era now long gone. It's easy to think of the penny as something small and insignificant, but for coin collectors, every detail matters, especially when that penny comes from a year that represents the final years of the wheat ears design. The production of the 1987 Lincoln penny took place at the three major U.S. mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. As with most years, the Philadelphia Mint produced the lion's share of pennies, with over 7.5 billion pennies minted there. The Denver Mint produced slightly fewer, with about 4.5 billion pennies, while the San Francisco Mint produced a much smaller quantity. But these were not for general circulation, they were proof coins, primarily made for collectors. The Philadelphia and Denver mints were responsible for the majority of the circulating 1987 pennies. At face value, these coins are common and easy to find, but what's important to note is that the condition of the coin significantly impacts its value. Most pennies from 1987 were circulated extensively and show signs of wear, scratches, discoloration, and overall fading from years of use. However, the coins that were stored away in good condition or even sealed in rolls have a higher chance of retaining their original shine and details, making them more attractive to collectors. The condition of a coin is one of the most important factors in determining its value. The grading system used by numismatists assigns a numerical value to the condition of a coin, ranging from poor P1 to mint state MS 70. Coins that are rated in the higher grades, such as MS 65 or MS 66, are far more valuable than those in lower grades. The higher the grade, the rarer and more desirable the coin becomes. For the 1987 penny, you'll find that most examples from this year are in lower grades due to their widespread circulation. However, the value of a 1987 penny becomes truly exciting when we talk about those coins that are in near-perfect, uncirculated condition. Coins that were never used in everyday transactions, perhaps stored away in a coin collection or a sealed bankroll, are worth significantly more. If you manage to find a 1987 penny in pristine condition, the potential value could reach several dollars for certain mint marks, but some of the rarer varieties with specific characteristics can fetch prices that make coin collectors' jaws drop. One of the key factors that contributes to the appeal of the 1987 penny is the presence of minting errors. As with most coins, the 1987 penny is not immune to the occasional misstrike or anomaly. For example, the 1987 D penny, minted in Denver, is known for having certain varieties that are particularly valuable, especially those with die errors or flaws that occurred during the production process. These errors are relatively rare and highly sought after by collectors. For instance, a 1987 penny with a double die or a misaligned die could be worth a significant premium over the regular pennies in circulation. If you're lucky enough to find a 1987 penny with one of these rare minting errors, you could be holding onto a coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. The price of such a coin depends on the severity and rarity of the error, as well as its overall condition. But it's not just the minting errors that make the 1987 penny appealing. It's also the unique character of the coin itself. The 1987 penny represents a time in U.S. history when the penny was still made from a copper-based alloy, just before the switch to a mostly zinc composition that would become the standard in the early 1990s. What is the current value of the 1987 Lincoln penny? While most 1987 pennies are worth little more than their face value, the most exceptional examples, particularly those in perfect condition or with minting errors, can fetch astronomical prices. Some rare varieties, such as the 1987 D with specific die errors, have been known to sell for upwards of $1,000 or more. However, it's the truly flawless, uncirculated coins that are the real treasure. A 1987 Lincoln penny, in pristine condition, has been known to fetch as much as $43,000 in some cases. It's important to remember that the 1987 penny is part of a larger legacy. It's a reminder of a time when the penny still held weight in daily transactions and of an era when coin collecting was becoming an increasingly popular hobby. The rarity of uncirculated coins, minting errors, and specific varieties only add to the mystique and value of the 1987 penny. For collectors and investors alike, this coin is a perfect example of how a seemingly ordinary piece of currency can become a rare treasure, telling a story about the U.S. Mint, the history of American coinage, and the world of numismatics. As you search through your spare change or peruse your coin collection, remember that the 1987 Lincoln penny could be hiding a valuable piece of history. Whether it's a rare mint mark, a striking error, or simply a coin in pristine condition, there's more to this humble penny than meets the eye. And, just like that, you could have a coin worth tens of thousands of dollars, proving that sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest value. Top 4. The 1998 Lincoln 1-cent penny is one of those coins. While it might seem like a simple and common piece of currency at first glance, there's much more to this particular penny than meets the eye. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a casual viewer, this video will take you on a deep dive into the historical context, design, minting details, and collector appeal of the 1998 Lincoln penny. And by the end, we'll reveal just how much this small piece of American currency could be worth today, with some examples fetching as much as $30,000. So, let's get started. The 1998 Lincoln penny was minted during a period of relative economic stability and prosperity in the United States. The 1990s marked a time of peace and growth, with the country enjoying the longest period of economic expansion in its history. Bill Clinton was serving his second term as president, and the tech boom was in full swing, driving rapid advancements in information technology. Meanwhile, the U.S. Mint was continuing to produce the everyday currency that Americans use to make transactions, including the 1-cent penny. However, the 1998 penny is significant not only for being part of this era of economic stability, but also because it's a representation of the culmination of a period of transition in U.S. coinage. By the time the 1998 penny was minted, the coin's composition had already undergone a major change. Starting in 1982, due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint switched the composition of the penny from a primarily copper-based alloy, 95% copper, 5% tin and zinc, to a more affordable copper-plated zinc composition, 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper. By 1998, this new composition had been in place for 16 years, and the penny's composition was no longer the copper-heavy coin it once was. The 1998 Lincoln penny, like its counterparts from the previous years, was produced with this copper-plated zinc composition. Though the change had made the penny more cost-effective to produce, it also made the coin less substantial in terms of material. Gone were the days of the hefty, copper-rich penny, but the new penny was still an essential part of daily American life. Whether it was used for vending machines, tipping, or just left at the bottom of a pocket or a purse, the 1998 penny continued to serve as an integral piece of U.S. currency. But what really makes the 1998 Lincoln penny unique and appealing to collectors? To answer that, we need to examine its design, which, by 1998, had remained largely unchanged for nearly 90 years. The iconic image of Abraham Lincoln, the 16th President of the United States, graces the obverse, front, side of the coin. The design, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner, features a right-facing portrait of Lincoln with the words, "In God We Trust," above his head, "Liberty," to the left, and the year of minting, 1998, beneath the portrait. This simple yet powerful depiction of Lincoln has become synonymous with the penny itself, symbolizing the enduring values of freedom, democracy, and leadership that Lincoln stood for. On the reverse side of the coin, the design shows 2 ears of wheat, an element that was part of the Lincoln penny design from 1909 until 1958. This wheat ears reverse was replaced in 1959 with the Lincoln Memorial design, which continued to be used until the 2009 bicentennial anniversary of Lincoln's birth. But in 1998, the familiar wheat ears design was long gone. In its place, the reverse of the penny featured the image of the Lincoln Memorial, the iconic monument in Washington, D.C., that honors Lincoln's legacy. This reverse design, also created by Victor David Brenner, shows the grand structure with E Pluribus Unum inscribed at the top and United States of America and 1 cent at the bottom. While the basic design of the 1998 Lincoln penny may not have differed much from its predecessors, the year 1998 was important for a few reasons. For one, it marked the tail end of an era for the Lincoln Memorial design on the reverse. The following year, 1999, would usher in a series of redesigns for the reverse side of the Lincoln penny to commemorate Lincoln's 200th birthday. Therefore, the 1998 penny is, in many ways, a transitional piece, representing the end of a long-standing design that had become deeply embedded in American culture. As with any coin, the value of the 1998 Lincoln penny is determined by several factors, including its minting details, condition, rarity, and any unique characteristics it might possess. The mints responsible for producing the 1998 penny were the Philadelphia Mint, the Denver Mint, and the San Francisco Mint. For the 1998 penny, the Philadelphia Mint struck the most coins, producing billions of pennies with no mint mark. The Denver Mint produced pennies with a D mint mark, while the San Francisco Mint produced proof coins with an S mint mark, which were primarily made for collectors. The mintage of the 1998 Lincoln penny was enormous, with over 5 billion pennies produced that year, most of them at the Philadelphia Mint. Because of this high production rate, most of the 1998 pennies you come across are not particularly rare. However, the key to discovering value lies in the coin's condition and, occasionally, in any minting errors or unique characteristics. As with many coins, the 1998 penny was designed for widespread circulation, which means that most examples you find in your pocket change will be heavily worn and show signs of handling. But don't be discouraged. Just like with other coins, the value of the 1998 penny increases dramatically with the quality of its preservation. Coins in excellent, uncirculated condition are far rarer than those that were used in day-to-day transactions. The grading of coins, which ranges from poor, P1, to mint state, MS70, is an essential tool for collectors to determine the value of a coin. Pennies that have been carefully preserved in mint condition, without scratches, discoloration, or other signs of wear, are the ones that collectors seek out. In addition to the general condition of the coin, certain mint errors or anomalies can increase the value of the 1998 penny. A minting error can occur during the production process, resulting in a coin with a flaw or misstrike. Some of the most valuable 1998 pennies feature errors such as double strikes, off-center strikes, or even coins with missing or misaligned details. These error coins are often highly prized by collectors, and depending on the rarity and severity of the error, they can fetch prices far higher than regular, circulated pennies. But it's not just minting errors that make the 1998 Lincoln penny valuable. The presence of certain special features or unique characteristics, such as coins with lower mintage from specific mints or those in pristine, uncirculated condition, can also increase the penny's appeal. For example, a 1998 penny with a D mint mark from the Denver Mint in uncirculated condition may be worth significantly more than a standard 1998 penny from Philadelphia, simply because it's less common and harder to find in high-grade condition. For the truly rare and well-preserved 1998 pennies, the value can skyrocket. In recent years, collectors have been willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for particularly exceptional examples. A 1998 penny in mint condition or with an error such as a double die or an off-center strike can command a price of $10,000 or more. But there is one penny in particular that stands out as one of the most remarkable examples of the 1998 Lincoln penny, and that's a coin in perfect uncirculated condition, featuring a particularly rare and well-known error. This penny has been known to fetch a mind-blowing $30,000 at auction. Why is the 1998 Lincoln penny worth so much? The value lies in its rarity, condition, and the uniqueness of its features. When a coin like the 1998 penny remains in mint condition or carries an unusual error, it becomes a rare artifact that tells a story about the history of American currency and the minting process itself. For collectors, owning such a coin is more than just possessing a piece of money. It's about holding on to a rare and valuable part of history. In conclusion, while most 1998 Lincoln pennies are worth only their face value of 1 cent, the truly exceptional examples can be worth thousands of dollars. Whether it's a penny in pristine, uncirculated condition, a coin with a rare minting error, or a particularly unique variety, the 1998 Lincoln penny holds great appeal for numismatists and collectors alike. So, the next time you find a 1998 penny in your change, take a moment to inspect it closely. It may just be a rare treasure in disguise, waiting to be discovered.